Spoiler alert, the following podcast includes discussions on film that may potentially, intentionally or inadvertently, reveal plot twists, character traits, story details, up to and including endings that might otherwise be considered spoilers. Proceed at your own risk.
You're listening to Movie Sucktastic.
Sorry, pal, but you're Nazi!
I know it. It all sounds like some bad movie.
Oh my God! How long has it been? Been a
Too
while.
long, sir.
It's
Too
been,
long, sir. Too
been a
long.
while.
Been a while.
Been a while.
Yeah, welcome back to Movie Sucktastic. We took a long hiatus during the holidays that went before the holidays and went through the holidays, but we're back in time for Oscars.
Yeah. I mean, I'll apologize. The hiatus was mainly my fault.
Well,
So-
you know what? It happened. What I found interesting, I go back through our older episodes, and you can tell the years that we're busy because there are certain years where we actually do more Oscar films than non-Oscar films.
Yeah.
Because we drop whatever's like killing us to push through the Oscars, and then we take the hiatus to get whatever's happening done. But I mean, we're here, we're back, and we're caught up, and we're ready to tackle it.
We're here to do it for you.
I have a problem.
What's the problem?
I have a serious problem.
Okay, we were going to talk about that later.
No, the other one.
Okay.
I haven't seen one of these films.
Well, I've
Not a
seen
good showing.
I've seen two
Not a
of
good
them.
showing for me.
I've seen two of them.
Two
Yeah.
of the best picture.
Two of the best pictures, yeah.
Okay.
So I've
Let me
seen
guess, Barbenheimer.
Barbenheimer. That is what I've seen. So
Well, I'm going to catch up, but no, it's sad. It's really embarrassing because I'm going through the list when it came out, and I'm like, all right, where do I start highlighting? No, I don't. Not until Best Original Score am I able to put a line next to Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
yeah.
And then the only other two films I've seen in this entire list. It's been a rough year. 2023 was not a fun year. All right, I'm catching up. But the other two are Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning and Guardians of the Galaxy.
You said
Pretty much-
2022 wasn't a fun year.
No, I said three. I might have misspoke, but I meant three. Sorry.
Okay.
But-
Want to clarify?
Basically, the only films I've seen are like the popcorn movies.
Well,
That's what I've been able
yeah.
to stomach lately. It's like last week we watched the Marvels. I was like, I can't take anything serious. Let's watch something Marvel. I just I need some. You know,
I
something
have
like
it,
that.
but I don't care. I don't care about seeing that movie.
It's like it's like every other Marvel film, with very few exceptions. It's fun and entertaining, and as long as you're not looking for Citizen Kane, you don't give a fuck. You're just looking for I mean, it's got the same drama, the same kind of arc. It's slightly different because it's very female centric. But again,
that's fine. I
people-
like that.
As I like the quote from Family Guy, people are allowed to like things. as we shit on films, we don't shit on films. We're fair.
Yeah.
But then they announced the Razzies the
Well,
next day.
yeah.
I out of this, like the 6 major films that were nominated, I've already seen 4 of them. It's not good.
I don't have the Razzie nomination, so I'm going to follow your lead if we talk about that a little bit tonight.
We're not going to. I'm not. I don't want to. I don't want to give them too much attack. I might do a little side series and to do my own reviews
Okay.
of those. I want to take up our time.
So you compile the list for us, which I appreciate, because normally what we do or what I do is I just go to a page that has all the nominations and we jump around. But this is actually nice. So how do you want to do this? You want to work from the bottom all the way up to the top? Last thing, best picture.
Let's do this. Let's focus on the best picture because that's the ones. Those are the ones we guarantee we're going to watch and review. So
Okay.
let's kind of go into those, and then after that, if there's another area we want to go through, let's not go through every single category because oh my god.
No. So I don't know if you remember how we do this. Anyone out there that doesn't remember how we do this, we do best picture, we do all of the actor and actresses, and we'll do some of the technical, but the adapted and original screenplay. We do those things. We might touch on special effects. We don't talk about the short films or the best animated short and costume design. We don't do those because
at least for this episode.
Right. I mean, we don't. So
I would say there's so much overlap this year. Let's just do the best picture because the other categories there's very few films in there besides those 10.
Yeah, I mean, and
Literally,
this has been like this for the last, I'd say, 3 or 4 years, where the best picture category, if you watch the best picture category, you watch 80% of these nominations.
Well, that's what happens when you open it up to 10 nominees.
Well, yeah.
And we'll talk about that. But yeah, if you want to go down the list, if you want to lead,
Sure.
I'll follow.
Sure.
What do you want to hit first?
I was just going to go straight down the bottom,
Fair enough.
top to bottom. That's how I was going to do it.
Okay.
I mean, you know what? How about we do least nominations to most nominations? How about we do it that way?
You lead, sir. I will follow.
All right. So if we're going to do it that way, the first film is going to be Past Lives with 2 Oscar nominations. Mm-hmm. I don't know anything about this movie at all. Like zero. I have it. And I will obviously watch it because we're going to review it. I don't even know the plot.
See,
I literally know nothing. Nothing.
This reminds me of Drive My Car,
Oh, that fucking
where
thing.
it wasn't on our radars at all until the Oscars came up, and then that was one of the more interesting episodes because you and I really butted heads on whether it was a good or bad film,
I still...
even though we
To this-
agreed on a lot of what was wrong with it.
Yeah, but listen, we'll touch on that for, just for 15, 30 seconds. So this movie, Drive My Car, it's a Japanese film.
No, don't,
What?
do not.
Korean?
I'm vetoing that. Move on. No.
What?
Do not. Don't waste time on that. No, move on. People can go back to that. They'll watch that episode. We want them to watch more episodes.
Okay. Well, all I was going to say is that I started to watch it. I'm texting Scott. I'm like, the fucking 40 minutes in, we get the opening card, the title. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's like, come on, give me a break. And Scott's like, what, really? And we watch the movie separately, and then we come into the episode, and I'm like ready to be like, Scott's going to be with me on this. He's gonna hate this. He's not going to like it like I didn't like it, and he loved it. And I'm like, what is happening? What? Why? Fucking
Those are the best episodes.
Uncle Vanya. It's like, stop.
You remember Uncle Vanya?
How could I forget?
All right. Yeah, so this film was written and directed by Celine Song. Her previous main credit is the Wheel of Time TV series.
I don't even know that.
What?
I don't even know what that is.
It's a sci-fi. It's based on the sci-fi novels. I know. It's just I don't know.
So what is the plot of Past Lives? Is it more like a fantasy type thing, or?
I'm here. I'm ready for you. I know it's semi-autobiographical.
Okay.
Based on loosely based on the writer director.
Nora and Hae-soon, 2 deeply connected childhood friends, are wrestled apart after Nora's family emigrates from South Korea. 20 years later, they are reunited for one fateful weekend as they confront notions of love and destiny.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's one of those.
That's fine.
Something that you and I normally wouldn't watch. So that's the kind of film I like watching and reviewing with you, because watching something you don't even want to, you really have to be, you have to give the film a chance.
Yeah. All right.
So I like that. So we have nothing else to say except this will be interesting.
Yeah. So this is interesting. 1, 2, 3. There's 4 films. Because my smart idea was, let's go by least amount of nominations to most. There's 4 films with the same amount of nominations. So I am just going to, I'm just going to pick one and then move to the next. American Fiction with 5 nominations. I believe this is the one with Jeffrey Wright.
Correct.
And he's also nominated for Best Actor, I think. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Now, I like Jeffrey Wright. I've liked him ever since I saw him in Boardwalk Empire.
I've never seen that show, but I liked him. I've liked him ever since I saw him in Westworld.
Well, that's the thing, Westworld. So when I saw him in Boardwalk Empire, I'm like, this guy is. There's something about him that's really, really good. And then when Boardwalk Empire was over and done with, he popped up and was in Westworld. I'm like, this guy, I like this guy. And then, of course, he plays Commissioner Gordon in the new Batman film, The Batman.
Excellent. Yeah.
Great.
No, I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
Yes, I really like him.
Now, have you seen the trailer?
I also, the only thing I know about it is that Jeffrey Wright's in it.
Okay.
Is he a writer? He's a writer?
Yes, I saw the trailer, and I think it looks very funny. Now, the writer-director, Cord Jefferson, he also wrote and directed The Good Place, or at least he wrote The Good Place and Watchmen. I believe he wrote those.
Watchmen?
Make sure I didn't get the writer credit mixed up. For writing, he wrote Station 11, Watchmen, The Good Place. So he's done some, good comedies that people like.
Okay.
I like the Watchmen mini TV show. I thought that was well done. This film.
Yeah, I liked it. I would say I liked it. Didn't love it. I wanted more the Watchmen show. I wanted way more Dr. Manhattan, man.
I didn't. I don't need that shit.
This is where we differ.
You need to remove him to have a story. Otherwise, never mind. But it's about.
Don't tease me.
It's about
Don't tease me with Dr.
It's about
Manhattan.
a black African American writer who's in a slump, and his editors don't like his current writing. They think it's bland, so he vindictively fakes like a memoir or biography, I think, about all the cliches about the poor black person, and it becomes a smash hit, and everybody loves it. And it's about cynicism and stupid white people, of course. But it really looks funny. There's some great lines in the trailer,
okay.
and it's obviously pointed as it's meant to it's not just jokes. It's like there's a reading, there's a message, I think, or it's provoking positive thoughts. It's not just being a dick, which is why it's up for an Oscar, obviously. But
sure.
But I'm looking forward to seeing this one. This was on my list before the Oscar films came out.
All right, moving on. Anatomy of a Fall, also with 5 nominations.
Anatomy of a Fall.
And I think other than Best Picture, did it also get a Best Director? Let's see.
Yes.
It
Justine Triet.
Yes. Okay. So
I'm assuming that's the correct way.
Now I haven't seen this. I have seen the trailer. I know the plot. Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just have to interject, but it's also up for Best Original Screenplay, which is always my category. Never mind.
Okay.
Continue.
So this is a French film, but it didn't get nominated for Best International, which is interesting to me. It's interesting to me because it's a French film. Now, with that said, when I got my copy, I always check to make sure the copy has good sound, good picture, things like that. I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to that. Mm-hmm. There is some of this film is in English, so I'm wondering if it didn't make it the Best International because some of it's in English. Because from what I can tell, it's mostly French. Mm-hmm. I want to say it's like a 70-30 or a 75-25 kind of deal.
or it just got crowded out by all the Best Picture.
It could have.
It just wasn't.
It could have, but
they usually try to have one Best Director that's not in the Best Picture,
right?
Just so it's not like boring.
But you know my theory on the Best Director category.
Yes, I do. Yes, and we don't have to go into it.
No, we'll go into it when we get to the category. But the film was nominated for Best Picture and Best Director, yet not Best International. So I'm wondering if there was something else involved with why it didn't get a nomination for Best International. And I'm wondering if it has too much English in it.
Maybe there's just so many good foreign films this year.
Could be. Oh, wow. Moving on. Oh, well, I mean, so very quickly, the story...
Not like the actual film. I'm just not waiting for it.
So very quickly, from what I've seen trailer-wise and what I've read, is this woman's husband commits suicide, except that they think that it might not be. And there is an entire trial, and the movie progresses. It does, I believe, what it does is flashbacks and flash forwards as they move through the film, as they're in court with the trial. And I think that's probably why I got nominated for screenplay too. It was original screenplay, right? I think it was original screenplay. Yes, original screenplay, because I have a feeling I'm going to enjoy that film a lot.
I honestly was. I knew about the film. I was ambivalent about seeing it. I didn't have it in my collection until it was nominated, because honestly, that plot you just described, I watched that on YouTube 5 times an hour. 5 in an hour. It's for me. It's like that fucking. What was the name? I don't even know the name of it anymore. That one where Shia LaBeouf's the father and she loses the baby, and the whole film is about like them taking the nanny to trial or the midwife to trial.
No, I don't.
Remember
even
that
know.
Piece of shit?
I don't even know it.
You know it because we reviewed it.
Oh, we did.
It was up for Best Picture, dude.
It was.
I swear it was. I swear we reviewed it. But anyway, it's just.
Well,
like
see
that.
now, see okay, so now see here's the problem with what you just did. When I'm the listener of a podcast like that, and we don't tell the audience the name of the fucking movie. When I'm the listener, I'm like, what's the name of the fucking movie?
No, I know. Holly yells at me all the time when we do that. I know. So I know I made that. Well, you can do that because all I'm saying is this film just feels like that. Where
was it Honey Boy? No, not Honey Boy.
For me, the whole purpose of this film is like, okay, we're just gonna watch these people go through hell, and go back and forth about how the hell happened, everything. And I don't find any entertainment value in that unless there's like a real mystery involved. It's just more of that shit. It's just like it's like drama porn. It's like
right.
Or it's like watching Lifetime. I hopefully I'm wrong and it's a good film, but that's why I didn't want to watch it in the first place.
I'm not seeing anything like that. Charlie Countryman? No, that wasn't.
Shia LaBeouf? Come on, it was just a few years ago, dude. Hang on, I'll find it. You go to the next film. I'll find it.
Dude, I'm having a hard. I mean, like I'm seeing films that, like Honey Boy. I don't think that wasn't nominated. Peanut Butter Falcon, Pieces of a Woman. We didn't review that.
Go on to the next film. I will find it.
Oh yeah, Pieces of a Woman.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the one. That was not nominated for Best Picture.
Wasn't it for Best Picture?
Oh wait, it was nominated for 1 Oscar.
Which one?
Oh, that woman that's in there. She was in Napoleon. Vanessa Kirby was nominated for Best Actress.
Okay. I don't know why I saw it then. I could have sworn it was up for... Oh, you know what? I probably watched it because it was up for a Razzie. Never mind.
Oh, so the movie was bad, but her performance was great?
It was one. It was one of those things. I always find it interesting films that end up on both lists, like Hillbilly Elegy.
Okay. Got
Which was shit.
But
anyway.
So everyone, the movie is called Pieces of a Woman.
You're welcome.
Now everyone's not going to be screaming at their car. Okay. Andrew Payne's The Holdovers with Paul Giamatti. Now, I don't even realize it, But when I look at Andrew Payne's body of work, apparently I'm an Andrew Payne fan because I like everything that he's done.
Do tell.
I mean, he did Nebraska.
I think it's Alexander Payne.
See, I'm such a big fan.
On a first name basis.
I am such a big fan. I call him Andrew. I don't even call him Alex. Sorry, Alexander Payne. But like movies like Nebraska, movies like Sideways. What was he did About Schmid? I mean, like these movies that he's done, I enjoyed all of them.
If you want to talk about cult classics, Election.
Oh, Election. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one with Matthew Broderick and Reese Witherspoon. Yes.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm not a fan. The film actually makes me uncomfortable, but I don't want to talk about that right now.
Okay. He did Downsizing, which I actually liked more than I thought I was. Mm-hmm. That's two movies, Downsizing. There's a first half and a second half. I don't know if you've ever seen Downsizing. It's basically two movies.
Okay.
So, yeah, and they kind of, melt into each other. The Descendants. I mean, like, these are good movies.
I like The Descendants. I thought that was not necessarily my type of film, but I liked it.
He almost single-handedly destroyed Merlot wine.
Yep.
If they start talking about fucking Merlot.
Thank you for reminding me about that. Yeah, so speaking of Paul Giamatti, he's in The Holdovers, and it's really kind of like an 80s throwback. One of our listeners that I talked to online, he's repeatedly said it reminds him of like Ordinary People, which I agree with.
Okay.
It's got that kind of like that 80s, let's just see people trying to sort shit out kind of. I know it sounds like I just shit on that kind of film with the previous movie, but I think this is the kind of film I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like your typical like I don't know, dry humor.
It's exactly what I'm expecting from an Alexander Payne film.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry for anybody. So, a cranky history teacher at a remote prep school is forced to remain on campus over the holidays with a troubled student who has no place to go and a grieving cook. Yeah, so it's about lonely people coming together and like you learn more about them. It's a character study. It's been on my list. I'm looking forward to seeing it. And it's also up for an Oscar for original screenplay as well.
Yeah. It's up for 5 nominations.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on. The Zone of Interest, also with 5 nominations.
Oh yeah.
I don't know anything about this. I know apparently there is a zone, and there's interest for it.
Okay, this film was on my list way before the Oscars came out.
It's a UK movie? No.
It is. I forget which nationality it is. But it's based on a Martin Amis novel.
Okay.
And it's the base. It follows a family who lives like on the other side of the fence of the Auschwitz ovens.
Oh.
And it follows them leading a normal life while the Holocaust is happening literally 10 yards away.
Wow.
That's the film.
Shit.
That's all I know about it, and it's
So I don't think it's going to be a UK movie. It's also up for Best International.
Yeah. So it's obviously I don't know which nationality it is. I forget.
I'm going to find out.
But it's based on Martin Amis' novel, and I think I heard it's not a direct, like it's loosely based. I heard, or like they take liberties with it. I'm not sure. I'll have to look more into that before we review it. I'll try to read the book before I watch it.
I wonder if this.
But this was on my list to begin with. It sounds like just you know they're doing it for a reason, and there's got to be some interesting filmmaking there. That's
sure.
all. And I normally don't like Holocaust films.
Yeah,
I'm on record for that.
It's German. Well, here it's interesting. It says the Zone of Interest landed major recognition with a 2024 Oscar nomination. The German language film is listed as a UK production. So the country that will win for this if it wins, will be the UK. I did say that earlier. It was like, because I could have sworn that I heard that it was a UK film.
Yeah.
But
I knew
it's
something was going on. I forgot.
it's a UK produced film in German and filmed in Poland. So I mean, it's all over the place.
Yeah, this has been on my radar for a while, and I'm looking forward to seeing it and reviewing it.
Same. I mean, now that I know anything about it, I didn't know anything about it before we just talked about it. So now I definitely want to see it. All right, moving on with the next most is Maestro with 7 nominations. What's interesting about this film, just from a
is there something hold on? There's something interesting about this film
from a production standpoint. Apparently, the script has been in. Bradley Cooper has been writing it, and for like 7 years now, something like that. It's been like a very long time, but it's passed hands before he got the script to write it. From everyone from Steven Spielberg to Martin Scorsese. They actually both have producer credits for this. So what's interesting about it, they asked Scorsese if he wanted to direct it. He passed. Asked Spielberg if he wanted to direct it. He passed. But then Spielberg, from what I understand, gave it to Bradley Cooper because he was asking about it. And Steven Spielberg said, yeah, I'm not going to direct this, so if you want to, you can. So because it's passed hands through that many people, they all have producer credits, and Spielberg and Scorsese are 2 of the producers on this movie. I find that completely crazy and fascinating. That
Okay.
I guarantee you none of them were all in the same room together at the same time, but they all have producing credits.
This is where Joey and I bring the diversity to the show.
Shut up.
Because what I find interesting about Maestro is the controversy over the nose.
That was so dumb. Especially because the family
used to be.
Yeah, especially because the family came out and said he got the nose right. They said there's nothing wrong with the size of the nose. He had a nose like that. The family came out and said that in complete defense of Bradley Cooper, and I'm glad that they did.
Somebody asked me. I was talking to a friend, and it was like, "You didn't understand. You didn't know what the controversy was." So I was like, what is it? So here's the basic gist. They're making a movie about a guy that had a big nose, and he was Jewish. The guy that Bradley Cooper is playing that guy, so they gave him a big Jewish nose because the guy he's playing has a big Jewish nose, and now everybody's complaining that they gave him a big Jewish nose, saying that it's anti-Semitic, which means that Leonard Bernstein is anti-Semitic for having a big Jewish nose. It's still ridiculous, the outrage over it, that it's like you can't even. Yeah. It's like
well, I don't know if you noticed, but the outrage went away because it's apparently.
It never should have started.
Of course not. Of course not. Listen,
I should never have heard about it.
We are in a world now where they start fires just for the smallest things. They make mountains out of molehills. It's.
Oh,
like,
wait till we get to Barbie.
Well, yeah. So I mean, listen. I've said it for a long time now, and this is more for the Strangers podcast that we used to do. They have 24-hour news channels. They have the internet. They have social media. They need so much shit to fill.
This isn't Strangers, sir.
It isn't. That's why I said what I said. They just have so much shit to fill. Like, for instance, very quickly, I will be scrolling through whatever it is, Instagram, Facebook, whatnot, a social media site, and something will come across my feed that what it wants to prompt is for me to comment on it. That's all it is.
We get the concept, Joey. We get
the
concept.
No. What I'm saying is, this is for everyone else. Maybe not you. You get it. Maybe someone else is not following right now.
I don't think our listenership is that stupid. I mean,
I didn't say. Oh my God! Nobody said anyone was stupid. Listen, all I'm saying is something will come across my feed with the intent of wanting me to comment on it. So what I end up doing most of the time is I click on it and I watch, or I see all these comments, and I'm like, you're being baited. Stop. And that's exactly what the nose thing was. They just wanted to draw up something for fucking filler for social media, the news outlets, whatever.
Well, it's also part of the ongoing battle of making sure that every kind of person that's portrayed in films is portrayed by that actual kind of person, which is a whole other debate that goes way off. But that's why it's kind of important too, because it's part of, it's not just a random thing. It's part of an ongoing debate. Everything, you know, at both sides of the spectrum, everything from the Junos to the Black Mermaid. There's idiots all across the border just making huge deals out of this. Dinklage is partly responsible, and basically Maestro is a bio.
Peter Dinklage is, why is he partly responsible?
Because he's an asshole.
He is?
Dinklage? Yeah, we're not getting into it. Just trust me. But anyway,
I am not going to trust you. You're going to have that. You're going to have that opinion because one day I will have a beer with Peter Dinklage and we're going to be good.
No, you're not.
You're not invited.
No, you're not. You're not going to. Anyway,
yes,
Maestro
I am.
is the Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper wrote and directed Maestro. It's a biopic about Leonard Bernstein, and I'd rather cut my finger off than watch it. But we got to do it this year.
I actually don't mind. I am interested in watching Maestro.
The Life of a Composer.
Sure.
Ooh. No,
we watched Tar last year.
What?
We watched that film.
Tar wasn't a biopic. It was fictional.
It was fictional, but it was also a composer.
Yeah, but it was fictional. That's my point. Biopics, I hate biopics. It's like, just make a documentary. Stop with this shit.
Sometimes they do both.
And guess which one I prefer? That's my problem. That's why I don't want to see the film. That's why I had no interest in the film. You know,
all right.
That's it. I'll watch it and I'll weigh in.
All right. Moving on with 8 nominations is Barbie.
Yep.
So Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie not nominated at all. It was funny because.
Okay.
Well, hold on a second. Mare comes home. And she goes, "Did you hear? Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig weren't nominated." I was like, "Yeah, I heard." Isn't that crazy? I'm sorry. I don't. What do you want me to say? They didn't get nominated. Other women got nominated. It's not like they didn't dominate women at all. It's like women were nominated.
Your toy movie swept the fucking Oscars. Shut up.
I didn't sweep anything yet.
You know what? I hate this stuff because I'm a feminist, and it's hard having to argue both sides. But holy shit, yeah, you know, there actually are a lot of women and a lot of different races and cultures represented by a lot of the nominations this year, and and it's obviously intentional, and I think it's good all the way across. But so you're making major wins. Stop it.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. Well, see, okay.
Oh no, Greta Gerwig didn't get it. I would think she should have got it too. This is what the Barbie film was about? No, it wasn't.
Well, the meme that's going around is a picture of Ryan Gosling as Ken, with the caption that Ryan Gosling gets nominated for Best Supporting Actor. Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie have not. This is exactly the plot of Barbie.
This, all they wanted, no matter what happened, people were going to shit on the Oscars for Barbie. I still haven't seen the film, but I've heard great things about it, and I'm looking forward to seeing it before we review it.
It's good.
And I swear, I'm fucking sick. So the people that are saying, oh, Greta Gerwig should have been nominated, which I agree. So they're shitting on the other person from the film that was nominated. You know, and like, what the fuck is that?
Right.
Really? So now it's his fault? He's not even in the same fucking category. What are you talking about?
Listen, again, 24 hours. 24 hours. 24 hours.
So there's no point in talking about it. Everybody knows what Barbie is, and everybody knows what Oppenheimer is. and everybody knows what Barbenheimer is, and we'll be reviewing Barbenheimer.
Yeah, next week. We're going
yes.
to review both films. All right, then moving on is the Martin Scorsese film with 10 nominations, Killers of the Flower Moon.
If Maestro wasn't in the nominations, this would be my finger list film.
And you haven't seen it yet.
No.
I mean,
I've got issues with Scorsese. I've got issues with the film. I've got issues with the bullshit behind the film, and I haven't even seen it yet. So, it's. I'm going into this with the exact same feeling I had going into The Irishman.
okay.
Except, I'm really hopeful I feel like this will be better than The Irishman no matter what. I mean,
as someone that walked out of seeing The Irishman and liking it, I do want to watch this film. I have been wanting to watch this film. This is one of those movies that I know Mare is going to watch with me just because of the subject matter. So,
also, there's another one. Leonardo DiCaprio is what a snub. He what,
really?
Playing a white racist?
I haven't heard that.
Oh no, that's one of the
Is it?
big snub things.
Oh,
it's being overshadowed by the Barbie thing, but that's another one. That's another
Listen,
major one. A lot of people are complaining this was a major role for him.
I think that's a grasping at straws complaint.
That's why.
He's won an Oscar. He's won an Oscar and for Best Actor, not a supporting.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
if he had not won for The Revenant, which is amazing, by the way, everyone should watch that one. Had he not won for that, maybe you'd have a little pull with, oh, can you believe he didn't get nominated?
Here's a thought. Maybe he shouldn't be nominated for Best Actor because the main character of the film shouldn't have been a fucking white man.
Is that right?
That's my feeling, and we'll talk about that more when we review it after I've actually seen it.
Because I know it's based on a book. I actually got the book. I got the book for Mare for Christmas.
The only reason I might read the book is just so I can point out more of the differences that he shouldn't have been. I don't know.
I mean, was it supposed to be played by an American Indian?
No. I can't. I don't want to get into it. But the major structure of the book was changed at Scorsese's request, and the reason he gives for it is fucking stupid. And every reason he gives for what he did with the film, as far as like racial stuff, is fucking stupid. He's fucking stupid. He's a great filmmaker. But when it comes to this, he's fucking stupid. And I will prove it with a diagram when we get to that.
I can't wait. All right, moving on. The film with the second most nominations, with 11, is Poor Things. Now, just for Willem Dafoe's face alone, I am definitely interested in watching this film.
All right.
I mean, it's a modern take on Frankenstein with a hot chick.
I saw the trailer. On the way to the podcast, I passed my son, and I asked him, hey, he's big into movies. We went to see Brazil a couple weeks ago in the theater. He's into films like I'm into films. I trust his knowledge, and I trust his opinion on movies. Okay. And I pass him and say, hey, Poor Things, what do you think? It's like, I have no desire to see that. It's like, thank God, because me neither, but everybody else seems to be raving about it.
Well, I like the director. I like that. His name is Yorgos something or other. Let's see what his real name is. Yorgos Lanthimos. And Yorgos, the other films that he's done that I liked quite a bit are The Lobster with Colin Farrell, The Killing of a Sacred Deer, also with Colin Farrell, and The Joker.
Director.
He also did The Favorite, which we reviewed, which I like that too.
Yeah, and this is by the guy that wrote The Favorite.
Well, he directed it as well.
No, he didn't. Yorgos directed it. It's written by Tony McNamara. And
okay. Got it.
Yeah, so Tony McNamara wrote...
McNamara?
whatever you want to call it.
Is it
I've heard
McNamara?
it both ways. I've heard it both ways.
Really? I think
No, that's what
there's
Wesley,
only one way to say it. Sorry.
No, that was what Wesley taught us, like how to get out of that situation. I've heard it both ways.
No, you
It
haven't.
works every time.
No, you haven't.
Except now.
And it'll never work.
But anyway, yeah, he I'm sorry, I got his writing credits a little mixed up here. I was just trying to look at his the writer of Poor Things also wrote The Favorite, but he also wrote Cruella, Rush.
Rush, as in the film with Robert Patrick. Rush?
No, I'm sorry.
No.
That's a TV series.
Okay.
He's a TV writer that started doing films. I mean,
Okay.
The Favorite was good. I'm not giving. Not
Oh, I like The
knocking it.
Favorite.
I never.
What I'm getting at is the films that I've seen of his, I've enjoyed a lot. So I'm probably going to like this too.
I don't have enough. I don't have enough to back the writer, but I do back the director. So it may look good, but I'm still iffy on the premise.
I saw
like
like a featurette. It was on a Saturday. Just flipping through channels.
I hope I'm wrong. I like weird films, but for some reason the trailer to this one just turned me off. I don't know why. I may have to revisit the trailer, but I'm willing to go into it and see it. I'm not. I just didn't have any interest outside of the Oscars.
Gotcha.
So maybe hopefully I'm wrong and I discover a new film like when I discovered Drive My Car.
Yeah. So anyway, I fucking lost my track of thought. Look what you did. Look what you
Pretty
did.
film. It's a Frankenstein movie with sex, right?
I got it.
What?
There was a featurette. It was like on a Saturday. I was flipping through channels and I came across it. They were doing a bunch of the different films that they were thinking might get nominated for an Oscar, blah, 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 all that. And Poor Things was one of the films that they talked about. The entire movie, the entire film is filmed on a set. Like this.
Okay.
And they had a dollhouse, a 3D dollhouse of the set, and they would zoom in, be computer generated image. They'd zoom into one part of the set and in the dollhouse, and then it would, dissolve into the actual part of the set. And they talked about different things that they were filming and, how they, created this room. And it was very, very good. And the fact that the entire film is just this one giant dollhouse that's all connected, and they filmed the whole thing that way, I'm totally fascinated by that. And I can't wait to see this movie.
It's also adapted screenplay from a book I don't know much about, so that's going to be interesting to get into. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope my gut instinct is incorrect, and I like it.
From what I keep hearing, the only film that would be even remotely considered a dark horse for winning Best Picture over Oppenheimer is this one, Poor Things. I hear that this is the only film that actually has a remote shot at beating Oppenheimer.
Let's just dispense. Oppenheimer's winning. So,
fuck, it is. Which will bring us to the very last film in the list with 13 nominations. The most nominations out of all of the films is Oppenheimer. Christopher Nolan is so fucking overdue for a Best Picture and a Best Director. It's not even fucking funny. He is winning Best Picture and realistically Best Director for Oppenheimer this year. Every year I give you a gimme where it's like, listen, you want a gimme where, because we fill out ballots and we see who wins and then we talk about it the following week. Oppenheimer for Best Picture, that's the gimme. Last year it was Brendan Fraser for Best Actor. I don't remember what the year before was, but Oppenheimer is winning Best Picture. And more than likely, Nolan is going to get Best Director. He's due.
Yeah.
And not only is he due, but Oppenheimer's a really fucking good movie.
Everybody seems to think so. It just seems to it's one of those films that everybody just kind of agrees is the standout film.
Yeah. And Cillian Murphy as Oppenheimer, he's not my favorite to win Best Actor. I actually am having a hard time picking that this year, but he could win. He probably will.
I just I hope that watching it as late as I am, I'm not overwhelmed because of the hype.
Right.
I'm not worried about that with Barbie because I had a low
Well-
bar to begin with before it came out. So
What I can say about Oppenheimer, I won't tell you anything other than the fact that the musical score is it's as big as the movie is. Every scene has a score behind it that and while I can guarantee you is unnecessary, it probably wouldn't need it for the scene to be as good as it is, but it's there, and I won't say it helps it, but the fact that it's there makes every scene you watch in this movie feel bigger than it is, which is the fucking point. So the score for this movie is fantastic, and it's probably going to win Best Score as well.
it also reminds me of I personally think it's ironic that one of the films up for Best Picture is about a composer, and yet that film is not up for Best Original Score.
Yeah. What's interesting about that is, from what I understand, the music for the entire film is
Bernstein stuff. Yeah.
Bernstein. Yeah. It's
I've
all
heard it both ways.
one's right and one's wrong.
I know, but I've heard it both ways.
You have. That is actually true. But it's
See?
it's Bernstein. Bernstein.
Okay. Yeah.
So anyhow, that might be why it's not nominated for score, because it's all his music. It's
I just think it's funny. That's all. That's why, it's not. I don't think it's. That's me. It made me chuckle. You know what else makes me chuckle?
What's that?
Barbie as the best adapted screenplay.
Oh yeah, because it's fucking Mattel.
Yeah, it's a fucking doll. Really? It's based on a previous character. What the fuck?
Well,
Seriously? Killers of the Flower Moon. That's based on actual people, right?
yeah.
No, wait. That's best adapted. I had to look at the original screenplay to find an argument against it, but.
Well, didn't they do that? What did they did that something? Oh, they did it with West Side Story. It got best adapted.
Well, that's because it's an actual remake.
Yeah.
Barbie's not a remake of anything. It's original material, except for the fact that there's a fucking doll. That's like saying, "Oh, I had an actor ahead of time, and the film's based on the actor, so that's based on a previous work." Just because it's like nitpicky rules.
Yeah.
Those are the same things that have sequels being listed as adapted screenplays.
Oh, that's right too. That was the other thing that I was trying to remember. Yeah, it was a sequel, and it was adapted. It's like, really?
I just like the nitpicky rules that like
But they've been doing it
Yeah.
forever, because when we talked
I know.
about it, I don't remember the movie that was the sequel that did that, but I remember the
Godfather.
episode. We went back to Godfather 2. I went back 50 years, 48 years, whenever we did it. Was last year or the year before, and I was like, oh crap, Godfather 2 got best adapted, even though it's a sequel, but the sequel was an original script.
right.
The book from the first film is what was adapted. The second one was a continuation of that story, and it's just all these, like you said, nitpicky rules.
Humbug. Yeah.
Now, here's the
This is
thing.
why we hate the Oscars.
Greta Gerwig was not happy that she got best adapted. I mean, as she should be
As she
unhappy.
should. Exactly.
But when we get to the categories, we'll talk about it more. She has way more competition in the adapted screenplay section than she does in the original.
Oh,
In the original, she's realistically, we'll get to it when we talk about it, probably winning the original category. But the adapted, I don't know. I don't know if she's walking away with it for the adapted. There's too much competition there. And when we watch all the movies, we'll make a decision. But just from the eye test, I'm thinking she's gonna have a hard time winning that adapted category.
Right. So let's keep things moving a little bit and move on to the other categories.
All right, we're gonna breeze through them.
Yeah.
We'll do Best Director next, and we're gonna do Justin Triet.
I'm assuming.
I think you're right. Anatomy of a Fall. Martin Scorsese, Killers of the Flower Moon. Christopher Nolan, Oppenheimer.
Yep.
Yorgos Lanthimos, Poor Things. and Jonathan Glazer, The Zone of Interest. All right, Best Actress. Yeah.
Real quick, I just got to say, besides Killers of the Flower Moon, I never mind. Ignore me.
No, Christopher Nolan's probably winning that. Where
yeah,
would they split and why? There's nothing here that if. Here's the thing. If Greta Gerwig was nominated for Best Director, they probably would split. Give her Best Director, give Nolan Best Picture. Everybody's happy.
You can't give them both.
Although Nolan has come out and said that he would be honored if he did win Best Director. So I have a feeling that he wants both. He wants both.
Well, no, don't give me the Oscar. Why would I want that?
Yeah, but she's not nominated. So I don't know, man. I think it's going to Nolan. All right, Best Actress. You have Annette Bening for Naiad. You have Lily Gladstone, Killers of the Flower Moon, which is probably your winner. Sandra Hüller for Anatomy of a Fall. Carey Mulligan for Maestro, who is probably your second best shot at winning. Carey Mulligan.
I think it's Hüller.
I said Hüller.
You said Huller.
I said Hüller.
I think it's Huller.
I never said fucking Huller. That went through your brain, not mine. I said Hüller. There's fucking umlauts over there. Come on.
Now, see, look, they complain about women not getting nominated and stuff. You got 5 women in this category alone. What's they really bitching about?
And finally, Emma Stone for Poor Things. Now, she's already won a Best Actress, and I think we've talked about this. You don't think these things. I do. I think it very much goes into, it's like, Emma won already, and she's great in this, but, Lily Gladstone or Carey Mulligan, they've never won. They've never won.
It shouldn't matter.
Of course it shouldn't matter, but it does. Now, I'm going on record as saying that. All right, Best Actor, Bradley Cooper for Maestro. Coleman Domingo for Rustin. I believe it's Rustin.
Rustin.
Got to roll those R's, man. Rustin.
Raspadeutsch.
Raspadeutsch. Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers. Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer. And Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction. I have no idea.
Is it Cillian or Cillian?
It's Cillian.
Okay.
I've heard it both ways. I've heard Cillian more often than anything else.
Oh, no, I just...
So, this is a category I don't know who's walking away with this Oscar. I've heard Bradley Cooper.
I'll have to watch them before I can figure that out.
Yeah, I've heard Bradley Cooper is the front runner for it. That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Although Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, I don't know, man. I just don't know. That's going to be one.
I'm a Giamatti fan myself.
Well, listen, if you look at everyone on this list, Giamatti
We haven't seen the performances yet.
No, we haven't, but Giamatti is way overdue. He's way overdue.
Yeah.
Way overdue. It's one of those things where, like, Giamatti keeps making great things and gets nominated, he doesn't win. Bradley Cooper's what, 48? He's going to be making movies for another 30 years. Giamatti is what, 55, 60? Giamatti's due. It's like, I think that goes into the voting. I really do.
Also, not for nothing, but never mind.
Okay.
I'll wait till I see the film.
Best Supporting Actress. You have Emily Blunt in Oppenheimer, Danielle Brooks for The Color Purple, America Ferrara, probably your winner, for Barbie, Jodie Foster for Naiad, and Divine Joy Randolph, The Holdovers. Thinking America Ferrara is walking away with this one.
What?
America Ferrara. Yeah, America Ferrara is probably going to win this one.
Yeah, and this is one of the things that bothers me about this whole outrage over Greta Gerwig and
Margot Robbie.
Thank you. My brain said Bonnie Rotten. I was like, that's not right.
It also said Huller, but go ahead.
Huller.
Hull.
Anyway, like, So the outrage, that's what doesn't get, I guess, like, okay, here we have a non-white female nominated for Best Supporting Actress, and from the film, which is like it's a good thing. So their argument is that, yeah, but we should have had all of them. And I was like, well, too bad. I mean, what the fuck? I'm upset because we didn't sweep. It's like, no, quit being greedy. If the film had been ignored, like totally, then I'd buy into it. It's not being ignored. It's being praised. It's they got eight nominations, which is far more than most films get, and there's people from the fucking film in it. Shut up.
Well, listen, I mean,
disappointment, I get.
Outrage?
They'll
get over it. Listen, Greta Gerwig has already gotten over it. You know, her next thing is already nominated. We'll put it that way. I mean, she is a very good director. She's a very good writer. She is going to get nominated for just about everything that she does. And if she doesn't, then you know, she'll just go on to the next thing. Believe me. How many movies has she made, and how many movies has she been nominated for? All of them.
Yeah.
You know.
But every headline's an outrage. All right. I can't.
No, she's going to be fine. She's eventually going to win Best Director, Best Picture at some point. It's going to happen. It just didn't happen for Barbie. To be honest, I'm actually surprised that Barbie got nominated. I like the movie, but you know, there's 10 movies on this list. That's why it's nominated. If it was five, I don't think it gets nominated. I agree, don't.
100%. Yeah, that's why they expanded it to 10, so that films that were popular but didn't make the cut for 5 films could. Avatar is the reason they fucking made it.
Yeah.
And films like, and this is like one of the few times where I agree with a film that got on the list.
Right.
But you are 100% correct. Five Best Picture nominees. No fucking way Barbie's on there.
No, not at all.
I just, you know, it's not dissing the film. It's just a fact.
I thought it was good, but it's not Best Picture good. It isn't.
Just because it's your favorite film doesn't mean it has to be everybody's.
Yeah, right. Best Supporting Actor, you have Sterling K. Brown for American Fiction, Robert De Niro for Killers of the Flower Moon, Robert Downey Jr., your probable winner, for Oppenheimer, Ryan Gosling for Barbie, and Mark Ruffalo for Poor Things. I think Robert Downey Jr. is walking away with that one this year.
I would like Ryan Gosling to get it, and if De Niro gets it, I'm going on a rampage.
No, you're not. He's not getting it, by the way.
Okay.
Right. For real, you're the two people that it's probably a 50-50, a 60-40. It's going to be Robert Downey Jr. and Ryan Gosling for Barbie. Those are the two that are going to get the most votes. And it's just who gets the most. Yeah. I'm leaning toward Robert Downey Jr. That's who I'm leaning towards. But I wouldn't be surprised if Ryan Gosling got it. Okay. So, I guess what else is on here that we want to talk about? I guess Best Animated Feature, and then the...
No, whoa. All right, I'm going to take over now. Best Original Screenplay.
Hold on. I wasn't done talking. Number one. I said, do we want to do Best Animated Feature? And then, whoa.
I'm sorry, the next...
Hold on.
We're not doing animated anything until we do screenplays.
Hold the fuck on. I was basically going to ask you, do we want to do Best Animated Feature and Original and Adapted Screenplay and then be done? That's what I was going to ask.
In that order. Yes, but not in that order.
Wow, whatever. Everything else is technical. That's why I'm like, I wouldn't do anything else but maybe cinematography. Maybe I would consider that one the technical, because it has the most to do with, framing a shot, finding locations, like actual real things that help make a movie. That would be the only technical category that I would consider doing.
Well, I just want to point out that, just like if you went through, just listen to the repetition. Best production design: Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, Poor Things. Costume: Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, Napoleon, Poor Things. Best makeup and hairstyling: Golda, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Poor Things. It's like the same fucking films in every category.
Yeah.
It's a very shallow pool this year.
Yes.
Just, which doesn't make sense because how many fucking, you can't tell me these are the only great films. That's why everybody's always pissed off, because there's never a huge variety. It's always these sweeps.
And the biggest problem, I don't want to say it's a problem, but like take the director category, voted on by other directors, by their peers. Cinematography, it's voted on by cinematographers. Original score, it's by composer. It's like all of these things are by peers except for Best Picture. That's everyone.
And except for Best Animated Feature, they changed that a few years ago. Remember, because Lego didn't win.
Oh, right.
Or didn't get nominated. They're like, well, we can't have the biggest film of the year not being nominated. So yeah, every time they do this is because we have to get the big budget films in, otherwise people won't watch us on the one day a year we show the awards. Only fucking reason.
Yeah.
But
so no. So the problem is all of these movies that come out to be nominated are always in the last dreg of the fucking year. It's October to a very small extent. You have mostly horror films in October. To a very large extent, it's November and December. You have some in October, but mostly November and December. All of these Oscar films are coming out. They're completely oversaturated, and it's a short memory. It's short memory syndrome. It's like, oh, you remember that great movie that came out in May? No, I don't. Maybe we should nominate it. Well, I don't remember. So it doesn't get nominated. So it's always interesting when films like last year's winner, the
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
That came out like months and months earlier. Like I think it was like over the summer, I think.
And that's why you knew it was such a shoo-in, because it actually survived that. And yeah, the whole point of that is they're afraid that people aren't going to remember in when you get to March of this year, no one's going to remember a film that came out February of the previous year, because no one's remember any of that. So that's why they always the focus is, that's why they drop them all at the end of the year, so everyone remembers and everybody votes, and it's another reason why the Oscars suck.
Yeah, because think about it. You all these movies that come out in November, December. You're right. If the same movies were spread out through the year, they probably don't get nominated, or they don't get remembered. It's like, oh fuck, we didn't nominate that movie. It came out in March or April. It's fuck, we fucked up.
That's why I feel like films that are nominated or win that weren't released in November or December, I feel like there's a stronger legitimacy to their status.
Yeah.
Because it's not part of the cycle. They like Everything Everywhere All at Once survived that set cycle based on how fucking awesome it was.
Yeah, they were talking about that movie getting nominated for Best Picture only a week or 2, 3 weeks, maybe a month after it was released. It's like, this movie is so good.
Yeah.
When it came out, a lot of the reviewers were saying, this movie is so good, I would not be surprised if this gets nominated for Best Picture by the end of the year.
Yeah, that's why when all these big films, when Napoleon comes out, I was like, oh, all right, this is an Oscar film. Hey, there's so
I did watch Napoleon.
I haven't yet. Didn't make it to the theater, but I will be seeing it. You know me.
It was okay. Joaquin's performance was actually, I wouldn't say distracting, but when you have zero accent and you're playing someone that's French, and everyone else around you is even the French, the people that were portrayed as French have British accents, I don't know. I'm like, it feels wrong.
I question the artistic merit and entertainment value of watching people pretend historical moments.
Yeah.
I again, if it's not a documentary, it's fiction.
Right.
If it's fiction, why are you pretending to be a documentary?
Yeah. No,
And
you're right.
I haven't seen the film. Maybe they add something to it. That's
For
of
what
interest.
it's for what it's worth, it entertained me the entire way. I never felt bored watching the film. I liked it, and that's all I'll say. Don't give me
We'll
the
see.
eyebrow. Don't give me the eyebrow.
Well,
It's not nominated for
I-
picture, so we're not. You don't have to watch it.
That's a good point.
You don't have to watch
No, I have
it.
to. I have to because Holly wants to watch it. So
Well, that's what Mare did to me. She's like, she wants to watch Napoleon. I'm like, all right, we'll watch Napoleon. It was fine.
All right.
It was fine.
It's not on my finger list this year. I mean,
No.
again, I
No,
was
no,
willing.
no, no.
I was willing to go see it in the theater, so I'm not that against it.
All right. Let's do adapted screenplay and original screenplay. You lead off. These are yours.
Yay! Okay, so best original screenplay, we have Anatomy of a Fall. So we discussed that. The Holdovers, which is also a Best Picture. Maestro, which is also a Best Picture. Past Lives, which is also a Best Picture. And then May December.
Yeah, that's a little film that came out. I think that's with Natalie Portman and what's her
It's
name?
a Lifetime movie, isn't it?
It's I mean, it might be produced by Lifetime, but
No, I mean.
you mean like plot structure and
Yeah,
probably
it's a
yeah.
Hallmark film.
It's kinda. That's what I get from it.
That's what I got. I'm not sure. So you know.
Oh, what's the actress's name? She won an Oscar, Best Actress, 4 or 5 years ago.
She's not up for an actress award, so I don't care.
No, she's not. But I'm gonna get her name because I like her, and she was in Boogie Nights, and I love that movie. So,
Yeah, I mean, out of the original screenplay films, I mean, The Holdovers, I'm actually like eager to see, and that's my having not seen them, that's my favorite for this.
Right.
So I'm interested to see how the other ones fall into place.
so
For
Julianne Moore.
Julianne Moore, there you go. I like her. I like what she does.
I like her a lot.
Yeah.
20 years after their notorious tabloid romance gripped the nation, a married couple buckles under pressure when an actress arrives to do research for a film about their past. Oh, that must be Natalie Portman. She's digging up old wounds. I'm not interested. Not interested at all.
Yeah, even less interested. But I'll try to get into screenplays. And then best adapted screenplay, we have American Fiction. I'm not familiar with most of the originals. Barbie, which of course is bullshit. Oppenheimer. Is that actually based on a book, or is that just based on like historical, and that's why they're giving it?
I'm not sure.
This is the information we will have when we've seen the film.
Yes,
I
it's
don't scare anybody.
No, it's one. I mean, it's one or the other.
Yeah, Poor Things. Maybe Zone of Interest is the one that I heard was loosely adapted from the book instead of Poor Things, like I said
Right.
earlier. I did a lot of reading over the last week, so I may have conflated those. All of these films are films that I'm interested in seeing. Poor Things, I guess I know I said I wasn't interested in seeing it,
Right.
but at least it looks interesting. So
Yeah, very much. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
yeah. Now, best animated feature.
Yeah.
I've already had several people tell me that The Boy and the Heron must win.
It won't.
Miyazaki.
Listen, I love Miyazaki as much as the next person, but there is just too much fucking hype and money surrounding Spider-Man. It just they
And again-
I actually haven't seen the sequel yet, and everyone that I've talked to has said that it blows the first movie out of the fucking water, and that first movie was really fucking good. So that's what I keep hearing. It's made by the Lego guys, the guys that made the Lego movies.
But you know what? Again, it's a lot of these hardcore animation fans who are like,
Right.
okay, I'm sick of the fucking
Well, here's-
the
listen.
Hollywood CGI special,
Of course.
animation.
Well-
I want the old school hand drawn shit. That's art. It's quality. I haven't seen it. I don't think, but that's just, I keep hearing everybody that I know that I talk to that knows animated features, like immediately doubles down on Boy and the Heron. It's playing in the Alamo at the Alamo Theater down the road. It was
Oh,
playing.
is it? So here's the
Yeah.
thing with Boy and the Hero. Miyazaki went into fucking retirement, and he was in retirement for a long time, to the point of where people are like, "Fuck, I think he means it." Like he was gone for a few years, and then makes an announcement that he is doing a new film, The Boy and the Heron. So they have, like, these diehard Miyazaki fans have been waiting literally years, almost a decade, for him to make another fucking movie. And the thing is, he hand draws everything. You know, all of it is hand drawn. He has a very specific style of how he does it. He's been doing it that way for decades, and I love it. I all of his films I think are excellent in their own way. Some are better than others, but you know, like Princess Mononoke and Spirited Away is fucking amazing. Spirited Away is probably the best thing he's ever done. But you know, The Boy and the Heron. Listen, it's probably not beating Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. It's probably not. So
the other films are Elemental,
No.
Nimona, and Robot Dreams.
yeah. So Elemental is a Pixar movie. Pixar is kind of fallen. It's kind of fallen by the wayside. I mean, they're still making good movies, but the problem with Pixar.
They happened around the same time Disney took them over, or did Disney take? I thought Disney took them over, didn't they?
No, I don't think so. They've always been
No? Okay.
associated with Disney. Disney and them have a partnership. But Disney, and this is partially Disney's fault, Disney was always like, listen, you don't make enough movies. They come out too many years apart, and every time Pixar made one of these movies, there was hype, there was anticipation, so they'd release a movie, and it'd make $1 billion.
It was
right?
a real event. Yeah.
Exactly. Now Pixar, they churn out movies every year, every other year. So,
And I don't watch most of them.
yeah, Pixar was doing movies every 3, 4, 5, 6 years, and when it would come out, it would be a big fucking deal because it was always better than anything Disney Studios would do. It just always was.
This is what happens when art becomes commerce.
Yeah. So Pixar now has started to release just too many movies. But with that said, Hollywood loves Pixar and they love nominating Pixar. So Elemental's in there. I'm sure there's another animated film in there that could have went instead of Elemental, but they didn't do it because it's Pixar.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's just, what was the other one? Inside Out. When that came out, that was a big fucking deal because it dealt with childhood like trauma, and it dealt with dealing with emotion and anxiety and like all of these different things, and it
had
did
substance to it.
It did it in a very real way, So now again, I haven't seen Elemental, so I don't know where that delves, but whatever.
Hey, we're just old fogies complaining about the newfangled shit. Whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you mind if I expose myself a little bit here?
Let me get ready for that.
I mentioned earlier how I was disappointed in myself that I haven't seen any of the Best Picture nominees, but I have seen a bunch of the Razzie nominees.
Yes.
So again, the only 3 films up for Oscars this year in any category that I've seen were Mission Impossible 1, Dead Reckoning 1, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, by the way, they've removed the part 1 from the title.
Okay, so they're just going to call.
They're calling it Dead Reckoning Part 1. They nominated it that way because that's how it was released. But going forward, it is not called Part 1 anymore. They're just going to call the second part, it's just going to have a different title.
Okay. So the only ones I've seen from the Oscars are Mission Impossible, the newest Mission Impossible, Guardians of the Galaxy 3,
right,
and Dial of Destiny. As far as the Razzies go, I have 10 of the films that are up for Razzie, I already had on my Plex.
Oh, my God.
10 of them were already on my Plex. Out of the 10, I've seen 6 of them. Quantumania, Shazam! Fury of the Gods,
Okay.
Fast X, Dial of Destiny, Meg 2, and Expendables 4. I've seen every one of those shitty films, and I haven't seen any Best Picture films. What is wrong with me?
What are the other 4?
Winnie the
Whoa! You
I have not seen it.
You just whoa! You broke up really bad. Didn't hear anything you said.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Go for it.
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Well, yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah.
I've seen half of it. Winnie the Pooh.
Don't ask me why I have the Pope's Exorcist on my Plex, but it's there.
Somebody asked me for it. It's the only reason it's there.
No one asked me for it. I just did it. I don't know what my fucking problem is. The Exorcist Believer, which I had on because I got to see how bad this fucking thing is.
I've seen it. It's bad.
Who the fuck greenlit a sequel to The Exorcist? Anyway.
Here's the thing. And here's the thing. The director
Let me finish.
Oh, okay.
Let me finish.
All right.
Just so we don't get sidetracked. And then the last one is Five Nights at Freddy's.
Okay. Even though that made a shit ton of fucking money. And
everybody hated it.
Except for 13-year-olds.
Right. But I mean, anybody that can voice their opinion on a film has said it sucked. And that Willy's Wonderland was 10 times better.
Well, of course, Willy's Wonderland is 10 times better. I want to show my oldest son Willy's Wonderland because he grew up being a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's, or FNAF, as the kids call it. FNAF.
Yeah, FNAF.
FNAF.
Yeah.
So him and his friends, which I love that that him and his friends are doing the shit that I used to do. It's like, dropped them off at the movie theater. They went to go see it. We picked them up. You know what I mean? Like, I like that. I like that they're doing that. They went to go see it. Now, I asked him, I go, how was it? He goes, it was all right. It was pretty good. Which, to me, because I know my son, he didn't love it. But he thought it was okay.
Next time FNAF comes up, you just remind them that we had LOTR well before they had FNAF.
That's right.
They think they did something new. Yeah. Punks. So how come Dial of Destiny is on the Razzies for Best Picture? No, it's not actually up for Best. I don't have the list with me, but it's not up for Best Picture. It's only up for I think Best worst. A couple of secondary.
Don't tell me it's like worse, like CGI when they de-aged Harrison Ford.
No. Okay. It's just something like I forget. That's why I don't have the list. I didn't want to go in detail.
Okay,
but
fine.
It's not up for Best Picture. It's not up for Worst Picture. It's only up for two secondaries.
Well, you know what's just to backtrack to the Exorcist film. I forget his first name. His last name is Green. It's something Green. Mm-hmm. The guy that directed that Exorcist film is the guy that did the new Halloween remakes.
I like those.
And that's why I went into it. I'm like, maybe this is going to be good because I've seen a bunch of this director's other stuff, and no.
See, this is why I focus on the screenplay categories. The directors make it look pretty, but the screenwriters actually make it smart.
Yeah.
So, again, the Razzies has The Exorcist Believer up for worst screen couple. And
really?
And their screen couple for that is any two of the people that convinced them that raised the money to make this fucking film.
Got it.
Because apparently a bunch of backers got together and raised like $400 million or something to get the rights to make it from whoever had it. I'm gaining all this knowledge from the Razzies, so I haven't looked it up. I'll know more.
And because I got sidetracked. What movie is this for? For the Exorcist movie?
The Exorcist Believer. Yeah.
$400 million.
That's
got to be wrong.
That was the number.
It's got to be wrong.
Who greenlit that? Who thought that was a good idea?
But if they raised $400 million, what are they making? 4 of these movies? 5 of these movies?
No, that was the buy the rights. The numbers may. I don't want to. The numbers may. Again, this is from the Razzies. The numbers may not be accurate. Okay. I just know they paid a lot of money for the rights to the film, and those are the people they hate. I'll have more details when we actually. No, we're not going to actually review it. I'll have more details.
Do you remember when they made those 2 Exorcist movies back in like 2005, 2006, with Stellan Skarsgård as the priest, and Rennie Harlan directed one, and somebody else directed the other? And the controversy was that they made one movie. I think it was Warner Brothers. They made the movie, tested so poorly that they rewrote the script and filmed it a second time with most of the same actors, and definitely Stellan Skarsgård as the priest.
Which film?
Exorcist. I forget, it was Exorcist, then something beginning, Exorcist the beginning, and then they made another one. It took place like in the desert in Africa or some shit.
I'm looking. Exorcist the beginning, 2004.
Okay.
Stellan Skarsgård.
Yeah,
Skarsgård,
but then
Isabella Scorupul.
But then if you look, you'll see that Stellan Skarsgård is in another Exorcist film that came out around the same time or a year later. And the reason for that is because they filmed one, tested poorly, scrapped it, then refilmed it, and then ended up releasing both movies anyway.
With the same name?
Not the same name. It's The Exorcist, and one's called Beginning, and then another one, it's called something else. Just look up Stellan Skarsgård. You'll find both.
I've never heard of this. I don't like Exorcist films. I mean, I don't like exorcism. I find them boring. I don't care for them, and this is all bothering me. Oh, I can't spell tonight. All right, Exorcist. I've got 2004, The Beginning.
Right. And then there's Dominion, prequel to The Exorcist. Came out a year later. Here's what's funny about it. When the first one came out, I think it was The Beginning, or it didn't come out. They just scrapped it and then finally released it. It got a 5.1 on IMDb. Tested poorly. Then they redid the whole fucking thing. Redid the script, redid the whole fucking thing, and the one that they actually did end up releasing, which I believe is Dominion, prequel to The Exorcist, also got a 5.1. They both got rated the same. People hated them the same.
Equally.
Yeah, and they spent so much fucking money making it.
So this kind of just buttresses my whole question about The Believer, because this should prove the point that what was the mistake? The mistake was making an Exorcist sequel.
Yeah.
Stop it. Stop trying. Stop doing it.
And the thing is, they tried it. Now, they also have an Exorcist TV show.
How have we not reviewed these?
Oh, we should.
How have I not heard of this? Where the fuck have I been?
Really?
Holy
You didn't know?
shit.
You didn't know about this at all, huh? Maybe what we'll do. There's also an Exorcist TV show that people keep telling me to watch. It's not broadcast. It's on Amazon, Netflix, so it's at least going to have the appropriate amount of swearing and violence and whatnot. It's not going to be held back garbage for broadcast TV, which I can't fucking watch broadcast television. If your TV show is on broadcast TV, don't. I don't fucking care. I don't want to watch it. No. I'm uninterested.
No.
The last thing I wanted to watch on broadcast TV was probably Lost. I think that's the last thing.
I mean, it's a little unfair because I'm talking about daytime television, but every time I walk through the break room at work and the TV's playing, a little part of me dies inside. I mean, it's hard to tell what's actually the game shows. I don't mind because that's always been the same thing. That's supposed to be vapid and mindless.
It's always been there. Listen, when we were, at least me growing up, if I was sick and home from school, what was I watching? I was always watching The Price is Right. Always.
I think the commercials kill me more than anything else.
Commercials are so fucking
when I walk
bad.
through and when I witness some of these commercials, it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, reverse mortgage. It's for you. It's like, stop it. Go away.
Apparently there's a new thing where every morning around 10 o'clock there's a 20-minute infomercial about window replacement.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Anderson
Renewal by Anderson.
And it's filmed like it's an interview with a reporter.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's
insane.
It's all bad.
Madness.
It's all bad. Well, you know what we should do when we're done with the Oscar films, because we usually go on a small hiatus before we. When we're done with the Oscar movies, because we do like 11, 12 episodes in a 4 or 5 week period. We usually go on a little hiatus. We the Oscars comes and goes, and then we start up again. We should do both of these the Exorcist movies, and we should do a whole episode on these two movies, the new movie, and maybe if we've watched the TV show, just do a whole thing.
So you're trying to kill me is basically what you're doing.
No.
All right.
No.
Now, also, I feel like this year I want to try to avoid a hiatus since we just came off such a huge one.
Well, when I say hiatus, is our last episode should be towards the end of February, and then the Oscars are a week and a half later, and then
okay,
and then pick up right after.
Okay, all right, never mind. In that case, I'm on board.
No, I'm not
All
talking about like going away for a month or 2 months. I'm talking about going away for a week or two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
we're doing this every week for the next 5 weeks.
Yeah. So as we wrap up the show,
Technically 6.
Since this is the live, what?
6
Sorry?
weeks. 6 weeks. 6 straight weeks of episodes.
And I apologize if I'm stepping on you.
No, it's fine.
We're good to wrap up, right?
We are good to wrap up.
Okay. But really briefly, it's been a while since we've been on, and our show streams live on YouTube, and I've been posting more of our past episodes on YouTube, so we have more of a YouTube presence. And so I want to address something that in the past we've always talked about, that we're not the kind of shows where, like, this isn't like we don't do this for a living. This is for fun. No. So we don't have a Patreon. We don't ask you to donate. We don't ask you to, do anything. We don't give a fuck. We want you to we just want people to enjoy the conversation. However, since I've been working on our YouTube presence, officially as of a couple months ago, we are monetized.
Nice. Yes, you did mention that.
For me, this is a disclaimer because we really don't do this for a living, and I don't want to be, like I said before, I don't want to be PewDiePie. I really just want to. I just want people that enjoy this to be here. So I just wanted to be out in the open that we have monetized it. So if you do see notice commercials and you actually make it over an hour into our episodes, because we do ramble a bit, that is happening. But nothing has changed other than the fact that we now monetize. And full disclosure, we're almost up to $40.
Really? Seriously?
Yeah.
I mean, there are some YouTubers like, I made that 8 seconds ago. And I didn't think we'd make any money, to be completely honest.
We have plenty of subscribers. A lot of you guys actually listen to our episodes, and we appreciate it. I hate to make it sound like we expect we're screaming into the void. We know you're there. We don't have a lot of interaction with our audience, but I think that's just like I don't call shows I like, so I understand.
Yeah, and I've been saying that from the beginning. With podcasts and whatnot, we give an email address so that you can email us, suggest movies for us to review. We have a voicemail so that you can leave voicemails that we would play. We don't get very many or hardly any at all. And I think it's because they're not treating our show like a throwaway, but what they do is they listen to it, digest it, and move on to the next one. And
also,
it's like I don't feel like calling shows that I listen to either.
And approaching from a YouTube standpoint, because we do have a fair number of followers on YouTube as well. I mean, there's a lot of content on YouTube, a lot of which I frequent myself, where the whole point is to have it on in the background while you're doing stuff. Yeah. So it's not like the 10, 15-minute chunks, which I'm also trying to do more of on YouTube. But this stuff, okay, we put this on the back and just listen to some people discuss something I'm interested in. Right. And that I hope that's what we bring to the table, because I think we're not really. Our point here is the discussion of film and the I don't know, the critique of film, but actually the active viewing of film, not just the passive viewing of like understanding what we're watching and enjoying it and being able to describe what's right and wrong about it and talk about what we like and hate. I like to think we do what we did in high school, except it's less about stupid shit.
Yeah.
Like we're not arguing about who could win a fight, Hulk or Thor. We're discussing, which film has more merit with the thematic structure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
And besides, it would be the Hulk.
It's always the Hulk. All right. Let me cue up our ending music here. There we go. Ooh, there we go. All right, everybody. Thank you again for joining us. as you may or may not know, this is a milestone episode for us. This is episode 400. I know we didn't
forgot to mention that.
We didn't mention it at all because that's the kind of podcasters we are. We don't remember shit, and when we do, it's like, fuck. Episode 400. Back when we did our 100th, we did something special, but it's just another episode.
Yeah, and I'm still working on getting those bumpers to you, by the way.
Yeah, you are. You are. I am working on a new website, so even though I say go to our website, it's not, nothing happens when you do, but I have to because our hosting service decided to go triple in price, so I have to make a new website now. I have to do it. So anyway, thank you again for joining us, our 400th episode. You can go to our website at moviesucktastic.com. You can listen to the show there. You can download the show there. You can go to iTunes, and you can also download or listen to the show there as well. I actually just got an email from them today saying that they're going to have, as we talk, when people listen, it's going to have written word, almost like subtitles, I guess.
Okay, subtitles, transcript, gotcha.
Yep, they're going to have transcript, so we have to...
How's that Spotify thing going?
Difficult. I don't know why they won't accept. I know, well, I don't know 100% why, but I know most of why, and it's not good.
So we need to talk. So we need to talk about COVID more.
No, I need to when I redo redo the website with a new hosting service. I have to rewrite. I have to rewrite.
Okay.
I have to rewrite some script. So
okay, so it's on our end. Gotcha.
Yeah. I have to do stuff, which is I have so much time to do it. So, you can go to facebook.com/moviesucktastic, and you can see everything that we post there. You can also leave us voicemail at 908-514-4470. You can email us at themovieguys@moviesucktastic.com, and you can download our podcast player. It's moviesucktastic.com/mst.apk, or just go to your Play Store, your Apple Store, whatever, whether you have Android or iPhone, and just download your favorite podcast player because we're in there, and it's just the best way to do it. And that's all I got. Do you have any words of wisdom, Mr. Wilson?
Fuck the Oscars.
And with that, we will see you next week when we review Barbie and Oppenheimer. Barbenheimer. So we'll be doing that next week. All right, everybody. We will talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Ciao, Bella.